Hey,
I'm Ebony.
and I'm Shakora.
And welcome to the Unapologetically Us podcast, where we talk about life, mental health, fitness, finances, and everything in between. Thank you guys for joining us today.
We're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. Thank you guys for all your love and support that you've shown us on our 1-year anniversary episode. If you want to know more about why we are here, what we have learned, and where do you see us going, tune into the episode. Now, I will say this. I was driving to work and I was like, damn, episode 50, and we had a year, that's 52 weeks. So I'm like, well, we only missed 1 week, so we should be at 51. But then when I thought about it, you remember? So we missed a week. Mm-hmm. But you remember, we started off on Tuesdays. The plan originally was to drop episodes on Tuesday.
And we switched it.
To Friday. So technically the first episode went out on the 27th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, because the math kind of off.
Math ain't mathing.
But then when we put everything in the calendar, I said, okay, that's how we hit the 1 year around this time, because we was doing episodes on Tuesday.
Yeah, okay, so that's probably why our little announcement video that we did came up, and I was like, well, because Facebook was hating on us, so I thought it had just gave it to me early as the memory, but that's probably why.
Because we dropped the announcement video to lead up to the first episode.
Yeah,
but that's what it was.
Keep y'all on y'all toes,
We were starting off on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And then Tuesdays, I guess, I can't remember why we switched to Fridays, but we ended up switching to Fridays.
Yeah. Because Fridays was more convenient. It was like, we'll get it Friday. We got all week to prepare. Yeah. That's cool.
Versus Monday felt like a race to the end.
Oh my God,
Tuesdays feel like a race to the end.
Coming off that weekend?
A busy weekend.
Yes.
But anyway, so this train gonna keep on rolling. Y'all be liking my singing too, because I be seeing the comments. Y'all be liking y'all like when we be singing, but I be coming with the song.
Because she know every song I don't. You gonna have to catch me on something that I just recent, because baby, she know all the songs.
Keep on rolling recent though.
I know. Oh, and that's why I know that one.
But anyway, let's get into our first segment, Child Listen. And I'm gonna go first. When you doing stuff, sometimes it's good to recognize who are the chiefs and who are the Indians. Because if you have too many chiefs and not enough Indians, then you turn into it's something that turns to a whole fiasco. And one thing I don't do is I don't like ghetto situations. And there have been some things going on that was very ghetto. And so just make sure that who are the chiefs, who's in charge, and who are the Indians who just need to follow the chiefs. And if this is a problematic term, then I'm sorry, I did not know. Because, we don't be knowing what's cancelable and what's not now.
Baby, don't cancel us.
I'm going to just change it and say, if you know who are the leaders and who are the followers.
Absolutely.
Because when there's too many people trying to lead and there's nobody to execute the plans of the leaders, then you end up with a lot of balls being dropped and a lot of things, where people are going to feel like they wasted their time. And one thing about me, both of us, we don't have time to waste.
Not at all.
So, yeah. Other than that, I am trying to figure out, because, people are telling me, and like, oh, okay, we're seeing the slim. I don't see it. But I don't like my midsection. And so, if y'all just see me eating carrot sticks and celery, just mind your business. Because backs and booties are doing the thing, but the love handles and the stomach is not. So.
Drops mic. Oh, don't drop that mic. Don't drop that mic.
Don't drop it.
Don't drop it.
Oh, no, not this one. No, theoretically. Yeah.
No, but for real, I see it just in the videos or pictures. Like, I was like, I told Dez, I said, Dez, look at her. She looking good. Like, you, of course, people gonna see it before you see it. Understandable. Been there. 100%. Still there. I think I'm back there. But for My Child Listen, of course, I told y'all that I was dedicating My Child Listen to Self-Care Awareness Month, September. So I want to let y'all know that this month we are practicing and prioritizing some me time, right? Because it's National Self-Care Awareness Month. While it's easy to get wrapped up in checking on others, it's important for us to make sure that we're prioritizing our mental health, period. Self-care, that's a self-care tip. It's oftentimes it's natural for us to care for, to nurture, to be there for other people. But we have to remember in that I need some me time, prioritizing self-care awareness month, y'all. Self-care.
It's like a whole commercial.
That was pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Self-care awareness. We all need it.
We do. Oh, somebody should sponsor me. Oh, okay.
Hey, should. Better help.
No, can't. No.
Oh, you can't do.
I do that. I do those I do what they do. I do in my own practice.
They can still
so I might as well just. Yeah, true.
I mean, the check is the check.
The bag is the bag.
Bag is the bag,
and
honey.
We're chasing it.
Speaking of bags and self-care, we're going to get into today's topic, because we all done been there, done that. We all done been in something that we probably shouldn't have been in, or stayed in something longer than we needed to be in. And that is a toxic relationship.
Toxic. Just toxic. We all know. We all been there.
We all been there because, sometimes it's what you see.
The heart wants what the heart wants, even if it's toxic.
And that too, but it's also because it can be based off of what you see, and we can get on it. We can touch on that a little, later on in the episode. But you want to tell people, our licensed therapist on the show, what a toxic relationship is?
Yes. Okay. Coming from Choosing Therapy, this is our resource for today. So a toxic relationship is one in which two people don't communicate or relate to one another in a healthy way, and where conflict easily arises. We'll go with that. We'll stay there. Mm-hmm. Toxic relationships. Who was in them?
Me, especially when they said they don't communicate.
Not me.
Because, there's, when you get down to when you talk about the signs, it says you both have a hard time communicating. There was times in relationships where I felt like my voice wasn't heard. Or I felt like my voice didn't matter. Yeah. Or that if I showed emotion, that there was a point for that person to flee. And it wasn't until when I realized, when I went to therapy, I kept having this dream. And in this dream, I would be a functioning human being. And then when that person would pop up in my dream, I would go mute. And I would literally, I never told you this?
No.
I would go mute. And I'm literally talking to the person, fussing, yelling, hands, everything. And it's like they're just sitting there like they can't hear me. And they can't hear me because I'm talking and words aren't coming out. And I was like, I never understood fully why I was having that dream. And that's when she was like, yeah, because you felt like you couldn't, whatever you was feeling, you couldn't say it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and it wasn't like once. It was like just random nights or like if something happened and I have a dream and it'll be, like I said, I'm walking around talking to everybody. I saw the house, everything was how it was, and they had a chair in that house. And I would see them sitting in that chair, and I would be talking to them.
And they don't hear you.
Fussing at them, crying, everything.
Something about those dreams. Like I try so hard to, and I'm in between, because dreams have so many meanings. And of course, it's what or how you interpret it. But hearing you say that, like, for me, it hit like it could be like my unconsciously, I'm saying this. This is what everything that I need to get out. But then surface is not me saying anything. Like, I'm really just going on with my regular day. I'm acting as if there's nothing going on. But inside, this is everything that I'm feeling. Oh, my dreams is crazy.
And
that's good.
When you put it like that, it could be that too. Because, like I said, the person, we would be on the phone, we would be having a discussion. And y'all know me, if you're being it was being dismissive, and if I get frustrated enough, then I'm going to it releases in tears. And I remember them saying to me, "Call me back when you get yourself together," and hung up in my face.
Don't gaslight me.
And I would kick and scream and cry. I had to throw stuff because I'm like, the stuff is just balling up. And so, and I would cry, and I would just stop myself from crying to call back, because I don't do that. And then, but I'm not done crying. So I would talk, and then they're, going off, and I would mute the phone and be crying.
Get yourself together. My God.
And then I would unmute the phone when it was time, when I didn't talk or whatever. Now, the person wasn't abusive or anything like that, but as far as emotional support,
just toxic as hell.
I didn't have that with that particular person.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was their own thing. I don't know. I just know, because even I would have dreams where they would be doing this to me. And I would be sitting there fussing back.
But nothing coming out. Oh, my goodness.
Like, no sound. Like, my mouth is moving, my hands is moving, but nothing would come out.
So then what do you do with those dreams? Like, what did you do?
I just knew I had them, and they felt intense. And I remember waking up being like, damn, that was intense. But it wasn't clicking why I kept having them.
Yeah. Dang,
and it wasn't until, and this was like years later in therapy, when I was talking about some stuff, and I was like, yeah, I remember having a dream. Oh, because we was unpacking why I was so hard on showing emotions. And I was like, it stemmed from childhood, and I got with this person, and it's like that just played on my lack of showing emotions. So then I became this person who just really held everything in, because at this point, why?
Because my girl didn't kill, baby. She ain't show. It's so crazy, because when you know your friends, and knowing that, okay, this person doesn't show emotion this way. Like, your friend care, your friend gonna be there, they gonna show up, but you don't really see the emotion side, and you just kind of accept them for who they are, not knowing, like, this probably something that is, and it was, I think Des ended up saying, when y'all come up to each other, y'all hug each other. When y'all leave, y'all hug each other by. Like you don't love your friend. Like, what's wrong with y'all? And I'm like, and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, dang, we don't. So now I'm intentional. Of course, you're intentional about walking up, giving your friend, which sometimes I think it's just natural for us just to not do it. Be like, hey, girl,
But they say your love language is, it's like, it's somewhat, it's an opposite. Physical touch is your love language, but then you won't. I guess in a non-romantic setting, it's like hugs don't really matter. Yeah. But in a romantic setting, touch me, hold my hand, all that good stuff.
Yeah, true. And
I was like, dang, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It is because naturally to our spouse or partner, then we give love, or we show love the way we like to receive it. Yeah, because that's true. Most of the time, that the way that you show love to your spouse or your partner is the way that you like to give or receive love. You're going to give it that same way. So most likely not romantically. If I love to be, we said slapped on the butt or held hands, kissed, whatever, then I'm probably not going to show it like that with my friends or those people around me. Just giving that love or showing that love in a different way. So that's why I think it's easy to show or present with several of the love languages, right? But you were talking about the 21 signs of a toxic relationship, and you pointed out a few of yours.
Or one. Only hit communication.
Okay, so then I'm a give one for me. This says bring it out. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Bring it out the bad qualities in one another. Whew. You know, toxic relationships for me, or the one that I'm thinking about, definitely brought out bad qualities in me. Put me in positions where, I mean, as now, years later, you can look back and laugh and be like, ooh, I did do that, you know, like, ooh, why did I do that? You know, but when you feel like you have to protect yourself or feel guarded, then of course, you know, you throw a knife at me. If you don't hit me, I got to throw one back. And of course, that's not how we supposed to move, knowing that through growth, thank God for growth. But definitely toxic relationship bringing out those bad qualities, which I'm not going to say wasn't helpful for me, because identifying and knowing what those bad qualities are, or then I now can work on them, and still working on them, so that they don't present in current or relationships after that one, right? Yeah, so
and to talk about the bad qualities, I could say too, in relationships that I, looking back, know that they were toxic, because sometimes you don't know that you in toxic situations until you get out of it, was when having those conversations with people who've known you. I never get my sister telling me, yeah, you wasn't yourself, you know, or feeling like you have to diminish yourself to not make the other person feel away, or making sure, like one of them said, your self-esteem is deteriorating. And I remember points at one point when mine was, and it was when I was fine in high school, and I started gaining weight back, and the person I was with at the time let it be known that they didn't like bigger women. And so the more I gained, the more uncomfortable I started to get. And so then, you know, certain things they'll say, well, you never did this and you never did it. And I'm like, but yeah, I'm also gaining weight, and you never let it be known that it was still okay. So of course I'm not going to wear certain things or dress a certain way. And then too, you had a certain image that you upheld. And so there were things about me that I was still toying with. So, of course, now when y'all see like, oh, Ebony got the off-shoulder shirt, she got the one-shoulder shirt, she wearing the halter top, she wearing all this or whatever. It was
doing it, baby. But
that's been there. It was just so you can't, like, what you could and could not do. Not saying that the person like verbally told me, but it was like an understood thing of like, this is how they are, so this is how you have to be. And so now at 32, almost 33. If I can't be myself around you, then ain't no point.
Then you ain't for me
being with you. And one thing that I've been holding on to, especially since after my sister told me, after one relationship, that she was like, yeah, you weren't yourself. You wasn't dressing like you normally dress. Like you was coming to the house. Sometimes I'd be like, whatever, you know, like, but that ain't how.
Where was I? Cause
that ain't how you normally.
Did I not notice this?
That's not how you normally come.
Right.
And so when I sat back and I thought about it, and I was like, dang, that was true. You know, I do remember going into the closet and not picking up, like, I'm not going to wear this because they going to have this on. So if I wear this, then I'm going to be too overdressed. And so I ended up being like, I'm just put this on. And so now I'm getting back to that person of like, I don't give a damn. Whatever I say I want to put on, I'm going to put on. And if you wear what you wear, then that's just what you wear. But I'm going to wear what I want to wear because that's what's going to make me feel good. And then I had gained weight during that particular relationship. Actually got to my heaviest. And then they told me they had a weight issue too. And so now you like, I'm in my heaviest. You have childhood things about weight anyway. So looking back, a lot of my relationships played on my lack of emotions and my self-esteem.
I had a thought though. For the record, y'all, she's saying they, she means him.
Oh, well, yeah.
They mean something different now.
It's true. He...
they probably like...
No. It's always been him. It's always been him.
So that's something we didn't know about her.
No. It's always been him. But yeah.
Sorry. Y'all know I always gotta... Look, I'm over there, I'm like...
And I didn't even catch on it when I just kept saying they. I just was trying to protect the the innocent in the what innocent.
And you just told the world that you're a they. No, this way.
No. It's always him. Him. I am she, her, hers, all that, and I like hims, he,
Himmer.
him.
But no, for real though, that's good. But I thought that was just a little funny insert. Back to our schedule program. But no, that's so true. Like, realizing that you're losing yourself, right? Or that you're building a character. Afterwards, right? So I'm saying, like, if we can, those who are watching who may be in a toxic relationship, it's important to incorporate those things about self. Again, self-care is not selfish, but it's being selfish, taking care of yourself, right? Because oftentimes what we do, men and women, I say we because I'm a woman, but what we do, we build ourselves based off of what the man wants.
Yep.
And then what about when that man gone? You may not be built on or built in a way that is what somebody else wants, right? Or even what yourself want. I now stop wearing my hair away, stop getting my nails done a certain way, only getting this. And then I realize I don't even like this. I only did this and that because he wanted this or she wanted that. We have to be able to build ourselves up on what's best for us and not what's best for that person that we with. That's toxic. That's a toxic trait, right?
That's true, because even when you think about, I was thinking as you was talking, but even as you're talking about changing certain things, like I had one person who was, when I got into college and got a hold to sew-ins, at one point you couldn't keep me out of a sew-in. I kept a sew-in regularly. I became natural because I kept taking my hair out, putting a sew-in in, taking my hair out, putting a sew-in in, or whatever. And that was just my thing that I stuck with. And then I, played with color and stuff like that. But I remember dating people who didn't really care for weed. And then dating people who, or dating a guy who loved, the natural hair. And at the time I was, I just, like I said, I became natural by default. But I will say, my hair was something I never compromised on. I mean, not compromised. I never gave up. Right. I would meet you halfway.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, instead of just taking my sew-in out, wearing it for a day to get another one put in, I'll give you 2 weeks of my regular hair. Or I'll give you, I'll wear my natural, for a little while. But best believe a weave coming back in there. Best believe I'm going to put some braids or something in my head. Yeah. Or whatever. So... But I will say that was one thing that and maybe that was just because that was one thing I never played about. Yeah. Was my hair and makeup. I never played with, once I got into wearing makeup, I would not wear it sometimes. But then if I wanted to wear it, I was wearing it.
Absolutely. I don't think that there was many things that I like as far as appearance that I changed. Maybe more so like just internal things that I had to, or I felt like I needed to accept, right? And I almost like being gaslighted. feeling like you're not enough for this person because you need this, and the third. Like, I can remember at one point in time accepting so much stuff where I'm like, okay, I done been your girlfriend, I done been your main chick, I done been your side chick. Clearly, it don't matter what the title is, this not gonna work. So reestablishing, redefining the things that you need or the things that you want to be in a relationship, because when I had to tell myself that, like, you've been the girlfriend, you've been the main chick, you've been the side chick, you've been the spend a night chick, like, you just been everything. What more can I do? I done gave you every piece of that I could have been. And I done been in all those roles for you to try to make you comfortable, to make you love me. And it's like, that's toxic. That's toxic. Of course, not knowing it until you are probably right at the end, because what they say, women, we don't leave physically first. We leave emotionally, mentally or emotionally first. So I had to then accept, kept getting beat down until I realized, like, damn, I'm tired of getting beat. Like, no, it don't matter how good you are to me around people. It don't matter how good you act in front of, or what you paying for, what you covering, how close our family is. Like, toxic. Good day.
And sometimes, we talk about social media and stuff like that, and you're looking at people and they seem so happy and they have this and they have that, and then you're kind of like, well, dang, well, maybe I can't have that, or societal pressures, which we talked about, those tend to play on you, and so you're like, well, shit, I ain't getting no older. And if this is what I got, if I break up. So I remember that being my thought in one of my relationships of like, girl, you wanted to be married by a certain time. You wanted to have kids by a certain time. And it's like, if you leave or, whatever, you don't even know when the next situation gonna come. You don't even know if you'll have a man by then. Then y'all got to date for X amount of time. And then all this has to be into play. So it's like, either you gonna stay and you gonna take it, or you just gonna leave and then be one of the ones that they talk about when you 40-some years old and you ain't married, ain't got no kids, and they talking about something wrong with you. And the whole time you like, but I'm also not happy here. And then you see, before we started talking, I was saying, sometimes it's based off what you see as well. And I remember saying, even when my sister came on, she was like, well, we didn't have many good examples, and we don't. My dad recently got remarried, and I will, it took me a little minute to kind of get over the things that I saw him doing with his current wife. I'm like, because we've been wanting you to do that all this time, or my mom been wanting you to be this type of man. There's still some stuff in him that I see, but I see him being a little more emotional supportive. I see him being a little more involved, and it could be because he don't have the pressures of taking care of a family anymore. But just seeing that, but then like what I saw with him and my mom wasn't always the best thing. And so it shaped me and my sister when we both got grown and we was able to talk about it, that I felt that cheating was a thing. But one thing that I said I was never gonna do was be in a position to where I had to need you, because I always deciphered needing you and wanting you. If I was with you, I wanted you,
not because I needed you.
And so, and I love my mom, but part of her staying was because she needed to. And if I went off, then how am I going to afford somewhere else?
Absolutely.
My daddy provided a blanket that,
kept me in the toxicity.
That kept me in it. And so you spent many years being unhappy. And so when you look back, you're looking like, you're thinking it's people who are so in love and so this and so that, and in actuality, they go home. I remember going in part of and maybe it's why I don't like the whole fake shit, because I would see the united front in front of people. But then when we got home,
it was a totally different story.
You went to your room, or the united front because family was in town and they came over. And we all But then when they left, you went to your room and you went to your room. And so I'm like, now y'all just get fake. and it just like, I don't do the fake shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either we good or we not. Now I do understand like if there's like a little conflict of like, okay,
right,
we ain't seeing eye to eye right now, but we both still good. Like some people say, I don't care how mad you is, come put your leg on me and we going to bed.
Put that leg on me.
That's
and
different.
Let me
I'm
put
not
my
saying
leg on
like
you.
that. I'm saying like y'all been like this.
Going through that, right? Absolutely.
And it ain't no secret that it's been that. So why are we faking like it's not that?
Yeah. And I think that the things that we've been through and our experiences, the things that we saw, definitely plays a factor into who we are. You know, it plays a factor into the things that we accept. Because even for me, like my mom and my dad were together and they had a good relationship for the most part, but I do remember the conflict. I do remember the abuse in the relationship. I do remember the drinking in the relationship. Like I remember those things. And so for me, either, you know, I say all the time that your experiences are going to do one of two things. Either you're going to accept and do what that relationship or that situation taught you, or you're going to do the total opposite. And so to be able to reflect and look back and say what things that I went through or experienced affect me or play a part on how I move forward. And like, you know how people say, well, you can't say what you'll do if you were in an abusive relationship. Oh, I saw that. Zero tolerance. You lift your hand, we're done. Done. I don't care what experience I have to go through. You lift your hand to me, we are done. Period. And I mean, thank the Lord, I have never been in a situation in any relationship. I've been through several toxic relationships, but never where abuse had to be my reason for leaving. But oh, trust me, through the experiences and the things that I've been through. But then if you want to flip that, along with that abuse came the yelling and the screaming and that. And I know that that's a character defect that I did pick up. Because I feel like if I could just yell at you and I don't got to whoop you, or if I don't, then we in good shape. Because of that abuse foundation, I will just use and so again, that's what, you know, as you go through your personal growth journey, healing journey, whatever, those are the things that you work on. So, you know, and Des will tell you, I get offended. He'll be like, you too loud. And I'm like, don't tell me or whatever. Then I have to check myself like, well, you right. Like naturally, and we'll use it as an excuse. But I mean, but that is kind of true for me. My voice is naturally loud, but that's still no excuse. It's still no excuse because that's a component that I should be able to control, you know? And so while we talk about toxic relationships and the ones that we've been in, we got to make sure that we not the toxic, because at the same place, I can say I've been in several relationships. I'm sure them relationships that I was in, that he probably saying too, yeah, I was in a toxic relationship with her because some of the same toxic things that may have been presented or I accepted, I probably gave some of those back based off of the things that I've been through, you know? So,
and I think, and it's also based on like what you may deem as toxic. You talking about the yelling and stuff like that, but some men like that stuff.
True.
Some men will get you riled up because in whatever twisted way it's a turn on for them. They will rile you up so that we can argue and I can knock your brains out later.
Baby, not my husband. He'll turn around and not talk to me. He'll sit there. I'll be all over him and everything. That Negro don't care. He won't look, make eye contact, nothing. He'll be like, you done? You done?
Mary J. Blige had a whole song about that. The hood love, we be fussing, we be screaming, we be breaking up, then we be making up, whatever she said.
I told y'all she know every song. I never heard that song in my life.
We got hood love, we be fussing them. I don't know all the words, but I know she said they got hood love.
That girl be knowing them songs.
But anyway, yeah, that's true too. And I think I had like a moment of like wondering about. Because sometimes you do have to check yourself for your shit. Like I said, I know I can be, like when one of them said, sometimes it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. Sometimes you say stuff and whatever, and I'm like, looking back, I'm like, yeah, I probably do say some stuff. My intention behind it may not be.
When
what
I'm
it
mad,
is.
my intentions be every bit of what came out. When I'm mad, my intention, and that's the character defect. I think I was just talking to my sister about this, where when you're controlling your anger, but when we're mad or being mad, saying things that hurt, because you're hurt in the moment, your natural reaction is to hurt back. You gon' I will go straight for chop you off at the neck. And it is not, because what I'm saying is probably something that needs to be said, but how I said it was damaging. And that can, one, put you in a toxic relationship and also get you out of one.
And it's depending on how the argue or the conversation going. If we're arguing and I'm feeling your aggression, and so then I have my aggression, like I say, I tend to date men stronger and bigger than me. And so, well, I don't know about one of them, but I think I probably could have had him. But my thing be, since I know I can't beat your ass, then I'm gonna cut you where it hurt. And so I may go low. I may say some stuff. Am I saying that that's cool? No, it's not. But I also made myself self-aware enough to be like, okay, let me go take a minute.
Absolutely.
And then I also have to respect the fact that if they say
they need a minute,
I need a minute.
Absolutely.
Because I'm gonna say something to you that I really don't mean. But because we're in this defense mode, because we both got our aggressions up, I'm just gonna back away real quick.
All weapons out. It's important to take that moment. It's important to respect when that person needs that moment, because like you said, all guns out, knives, swords, ropes, everything. Because if you say something that was damaging to me, I'm gonna use whatever tool, equipment, weapon I have to get you back. And of course, that is something that should be worked on. We got to notice when those things are happening, noticing when you're doing those things, and try to stop yourself in a moment, because it's hard to break patterns like that. But of course, when you're thinking about, I want me a good man, I want me a good woman, you also got to make sure that you're being that good man or being that good woman too.
And I see some people say, sometimes having that good man requires you to break those other things that you were used to, like the current person. I say, we rarely argue, but we rarely argue because his thing is like, yeah, I'm not gonna go there with you today. Even though we don't, that level of our personalities is like, yeah, I'm not about to.
I could see that.
Go there with you.
I could see that.
And that's me, because I would walk away or be like, okay, all right.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just going to have to agree to disagree.
Okay. And if you keep going and I'm walking away because then my next thing, I'm a clean.
Yep.
I'm Brand Junior. I'm a clean. Okay.
Straighten up.
All right. Yep.
Tidy up.
And at this point, I'm like, well, I said what I was going to say. Because I'm like, at this point, you're
provoking me.
You're provoking me. And so then after a while, I'm going to be like, all right then. What you want to say? You want to show out? Let's go.
What I used to say?
You want to show out for the people? It's going to be ding ding, motherfucker. Let's go. Because I done told your ass. You're right. You're right. Because like when we talk about picking your battles. At this point, we not agreeing. We ain't seeing eye to eye.
Let's just leave it
alone.
alone.
On where you at? I'm stuck on where I'm at. Let's just leave it where it's at.
Yeah.
I'm done. We can talk about this later, but not right now. I'm done. But if you keep going, so you keep poking the bear, you know what you're gonna get.
That bear gonna strike you back.
So then it makes you be like, okay, wait a goddamn minute.
Now, you guys, in no way, shape, or form are we telling you that these are not toxic behaviors. What we're saying is the things that we've done, we've recognized who we are. We've, I guess, figured out how we're going to prioritize those things in our lives. Am I going to use it? Am I going to try to break it? Probably so. But
no,
knowing
yes,
that you are. Okay. Yes, you are.
Come on. We can't be sitting here telling the people that to do better and then we ain't gonna do better.
No, we are, but I'm saying probably so, because when I recognize it, I'm going to want to do something different, but not saying that it's gonna happen right then when I say that I want it to change.
But that's what working on it means. Though.
Yeah.
Which can take us to, if you're gonna stay in a situation that is a level of toxicity that you're cool with, it is making yourself holding that space for you and your partner to adjust to that change. So I'm not gonna unlearn 27, 28 years of behaviors patterns, and emotions in those 6 months. Hell, not even 6 years, because you're still used to that. Your body is still used to that. That okay, I know how this feels, and we remember this, and this is what we're gonna do.
Absolutely, because that's definitely what happened. What happens is, just like any pattern, when we're trying to set a pattern, what do we do when we're trying to set a pattern to start working out or to eat healthy or whatnot? We have to change and withhold things. I can't go to Five Guys. I'm going to Wingstop. I can't go to Wendy's. Can't do those things. I have to be able to break the pattern. But what does our body do? The day one that we decide that we're going to go on a diet or we're going to work out, what happens? Somebody bringing donuts in the break room. All the commercials about burgers is popping up. Pizza, everything coming up.
50-cent burger day.
50-cent burger day. Yesterday, Dad said it was pepperoni day or whatever. Just all of those things are going to come up. And it's hard to break that pattern and say, you know what? I'll just start tomorrow. So naturally, when we want to break a pattern, you have to show yourself grace and say, okay, this isn't going to happen instantly, but what can happen is I can take and make steps for that change. I'm noticing it. I tell my clients all the time, I even try to tell myself, notice in your body when something feels familiar, when it seems familiar and it's that toxic trait or that character defect, you have to notice that and say, okay, I'm gonna do something different. Now, if you don't want to do something different and you want to keep producing, because what they say, when you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're gonna get the same results. So if you're not changing your person, places, things, you're gonna get the same results. You are.
And then another thing too, if you're choosing to work through these things with your partner, then you need to have those open and honest conversations. And sometimes those open and honest conversations may seem like this is a toxic environment, and it's really not, because when you're being open and honest, you're saying things that person may not want to hear anyway. Having that conversation, if you are somebody who y'all know, okay, we was this when we got together, you gained this way. How do you tell your partner, hey, I'm feeling a way about this? Or if they're, I don't know, they used to clean or whatever, or I don't feel this way, or I feel neglected. You give the kids more time than you give me. You give your friends more time, or whatever. You have to be able to tell that, and it may hurt those people. Hey, truth be told, you got some poor spending habits. And I don't think you need to be managing the money in the household no more. Something like whatever it is that you need to be open and honest about that person about. And it may hurt their feelings, but I always say this: I'd rather you hurt me with the truth than spare my feelings with a lie.
Absolutely. That's good.
My feelings may be hurt, but I will forever respect you for being honest with me.
Absolutely. That's good.
But if you're lying to me and it comes out that you're lying to me, not only am I going to be hurt because you lied, but my respect for you will never be back there.
Absolutely.
That way again.
Absolutely. That's true. That's a good one. Also remembering to not dwell on the past. If you do decide to stay and those toxic traits presented and you guys have come to the conclusion, we don't want to continue this relationship, this friendship, this family member, this cousin relationship, whatever, in toxic, then you can't dwell on, because one thing we can't do is we can't change things that has been done. We can't change things that has been said. So we have to remember that if I'm deciding to move forward, then we can't dwell on the things that, well, the last time you did this is what you did. That's not helping us to move forward. That's not helping us grow, because when you do that, all the steps that you have made forward, you have then picked them up and placed them back into where they were before. And so we don't want to do that. When we decide to make the decision to move forward in this relationship and to make it untoxic, then we have to remember to not dwell on the past.
And hold yourself accountable. Take take responsibility for your issue in the problem as well. If I recognize some things, if we having a conflict and I recognize, okay, this is where I could have been wrong. Prime example, getting, we had a tit for tat for him asking me something. But he wouldn't ask, he would just say. And so then I would have something to say back. Because in my mind, it was, are you asking me or you telling me? Because truth be told, I ain't got to do none of this.
Facts.
So then having that open communication and saying, when you do
this is how I feel.
This may not be how you mean it, but this is how I take it. And because I take it this way is why it comes off as this way.
That's good. A lot of people do not get that. And not just from me, I'm speaking because of course I date men, but well, not no more. But well, you know what I mean.
Oh Lord.
Babe, I'm not dating nobody.
I only have eyes.
Ooh, that came off so wrong. But anywho, you know what I mean. It's hard for you to understand that just because you gave something a certain way does not mean that that person is going to receive it the way that you gave it. So sometimes you have to apologize or reiterate, restate what you mean so that your partner, spouse, whoever can receive it in the way that they understand. Not in the way that you decided to give it, but in the way that that they can receive it. Because if you hurt their feelings based off of something that you gave, not what you did, what you were saying, but how you said it, and you got to go back and apologize and figure out for the next time, well, how can I deliver this in a way that they'll be able to receive it? Because if not, we're going to stay toxic. Well, you too soft. Everything hurt your feelings. All I was doing was saying, no, go ahead and say, well, okay. I respect how, we teach our clients to say, when you did this, I felt like this, so that it doesn't seem confrontational, like I'm not accusing you. You said that to hurt me. No, he probably didn't, or she probably didn't. But when they said it, it hurt you. Tell them that, because what people can't do is, and we said on here before, no one can take your feelings away from you. So your feeling is your feeling. And if that made you feel that way, then it's healthy to voice it.
True. And just like they had to apologize for their part, I had to apologize for mine, even though it was a reaction to an action. But it was like, okay, I know that I was being smart, like some people say, smart in my response. So before we do this riff-raff, or you feeling like, well, I can't come to her because she always, and then it's like, oh, who he think he is coming at me like this? It's saying, okay, I'm not saying it's how you mean it. But to me, this is how I'm taking. So when you come to me like this is going to be my reaction. And I'm not saying my reaction is right. And so.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then as always, why you have people like Shakura. I recommend in any toxic situation, in any breakup or whatever, I do recommend, if you don't talk to your friends, at least go talk to a therapist.
Yes.
I don't think I would have gotten over my last breakup without going to an actual therapist.
Oh. So. Yeah, it's important. It's important, guys. And I'm glad Ebony was able to say that before me, because most times when a person hear a therapist saying you should see a therapist, they think, oh, you're just saying that because you're a therapist. But you guys, mental health matters so much. Like taking care of yourself, noticing when your health and wellness isn't intact or it doesn't feel stable, then seeking out that help. Of course, leaning on your supports, but sometimes from your supports around you, you'll get a biased feeling. You'll get the biased thoughts and help, right? So more times than often, I get clients who come into my office and they say, well, I really just needed to be able to talk with someone because I'm going to get a biased opinion, a biased thoughts from family, friends. They're going to naturally, our friends naturally, our family naturally want to protect us. So they may okay some of our wrongdoings. They may okay some of the things that we should accept and say, oh no, girl. We talked about that last time. Girl, cook them a meal and give them some. You'll be fine. No, seeking professional help is going to be beneficial. If you can, I do recommend.
And for the record, Shakura did not recommend therapy to me. I reached out to Shakura and asked her because she cannot be my personal therapist. So I reached out to her and I said, can you send me a list of people? And she did. And it was very beneficial.
Yes. So if you know me personally, I can't see you as a therapist, as your therapist, but I do know several great therapists. So if you need somebody, reach out. As always, if you want to reach one of us, because Ebony still have her list of the therapists that I sent her probably too. So if you do need that,
I know their names. I remember some of their names.
Right.
Anyway.
And I'm sure she can just go on my page and find them somewhere. But if you do need that help, if you need that extra support from one of us, reach out to us. Same way that if you needed or had a topic discussion, suggestion, anything, to reach out to us, social media, on our podcast page, anything, please do so.
And that podcast email is unapologeticallyuspod@yahoo.com.
That is unapologeticallyus.
All minds clear.
All minds clear.
Thank y'all for joining us today. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate us on all podcast platforms. And until the next time, bye y'all.
Bye.
Stay toxic. No, I'm just playing.